Hello and welcome along to Mondo Televet Movies. My name is John. In this video, it's going to be a counterbalance to a video I put out last week. That was a video that all my vinyl was kind of waterlogged, or the vinyl I showed in there was waterlogged. Now in this one, this is my good vinyl. Now I went through this the other day and I put them in alphabetical order. I've got the albums first, then the 12 inches after that. Also, I've got underneath the bed, I've got all my 7-inch vinyls, and it's a bit of an eclectic bunch. Now, could anyone tell me what this one is? I'm not going to move it because you will see it is embossed and you will see the title of it. But does anyone know what this one is? This is the type of thing that I have in my vinyl collection, which is quite eclectic to say the least. As some of this is. Now, some of this belongs to the devs, some of this belongs to family members, and most of this belongs to myself. Now, what I've done with this is I've just put it in alphabetical order. I've got quite a lot of stuff in here which I was really glad to see wasn't water damaged. Also, there's other ones where I think if I've got this one, I know I've got others by that artist. They're not here. They must be waterlogged. So it's a bit bittersweet. But anyway, what I'll do is I'll go through these, and they haven't been cleaned or anything. These have literally been as they have that about 20 years ago, 25 years ago, that I was playing this stuff. So this is how it is now. So if it is a bit like kind of not pristine, I'll have to make excuses for that because there is no way that I was going to clean all this stuff at this point. I will clean it, but I haven't done it yet. So first up is, and you'd be surprised at some of these ones. I'm not going to make any excuses for these ones. You might think, what, you've got that one? Or I can't believe that that's a thing that you would have. I've been predominantly a fan of punk, but it is what it is, and I'm quite proud to own all of these records. First up is ABBA, Gracias por la Musica. Now, this is my mum's vinyl. And the reason why my mum chose this vinyl is because she could understand Spanish. This is a Spanish release. Now, it's funny, this one, because I mean, I love ABBA, as you know, and it was one of the ones when she put it, she goes, "Oh, I've got this one," and she really struggled to buy this one at the time. I remember that. And I thought, what have you got this for? And how are ABBA singing in different languages? Well, you'd be surprised at how many languages ABBA did record their stuff in. So this was one that she really enjoyed. And to be honest, when my mum used to put it on, I was kind of thinking, really? But I have got some of this, I have downloaded some of these ones, actually. I mean, obviously, they are what they are, but they are actually singing live. Sorry, they are singing in a different language. I know they're singing German as well. And did you know that Cono Sie Domi, Cono Sien Doti, I think that's right, is knowing me, knowing you. Aha. So that's ABBA, Gracias por la Musica. If I had to guess, I think it came out in roundabout the early 80s. Next up is one of my favourite albums of all time. It is Dirk Wears White Socks by Adam and the Ants. Don't know if I can get this all in frame. This is, now, actually, I don't know if you can see this. Some of my vinyl has this in, if I can get it, yeah. See that? This is a second-hand vinyl. Now, I did have all of these before, and, well, I lost them, but, that's a different story. So, yeah, this one here, it's just such a great album. Now, when I first heard this album, after hearing Kings of the Wild Frontier first, I couldn't stand it. I thought, what on earth is this? But when I think about it and I look at it, I think, you know what it is? This is a really clever album and a really good album. It's full of great stuff, especially David Barber there, who's the drummer on here, David Barbarossa. He is probably one of the best drummers you'll see. He did go into Republica briefly. And of course, the other band members from Adamant, apart from Adamant, went in to become Bow Wow Wow. So this, if I had, you see, I'm saying I had my vinyl would have been better. But the thing is with maybe my vinyl wouldn't have been that good if I was playing them when I was quite young. This is a great album. And it's completely different to Kings of the Wild Frontier. And I didn't get it when I first heard it because, like I say, I thought I'll have to get all their songs, all their albums because I like Adam and the Ants that much. It was so unique when they came out. But this one took a while to grow on me. But when it did, this is the one that I would always go back to with Adam and the Ants. Speaking of Adam and the Ants, ridicule is nothing to be scared of. Put some wax on the trucks and slide on out of here. Prince Charming. This is the Debs vinyl, and to be honest, when this came out, I remember getting Stand and Deliver and thinking, I think Adamant might be starting to lose it for me. And I did really go off him round about this part. I do think he's good now. I'll go and see him now. I think he came and had a bit of a strange period, but this one here was all right. I mean, in hindsight, the Prince Charming wasn't your favourite. Ant Rap was okay, it was quite fun, and Stand and Deliver was a decent album, a decent song, should I say. But the other ones on here, I think I've heard this album. Actually, I was going to buy it the other day on CD, but I didn't get around to it. I do think that for me, I can't really say that I rate most of the songs on here, but I know Deborah says, well, I don't even know if Deborah likes this album. Interesting to see, put the band in the back and he's on the front. I think that was the start of his downfall when he was trying to make it big. I think he should have just not done that. He should have stayed a little bit cult, to be honest. So next up is Anthrax, a Fistful of Metal. I couldn't think of the title there. This is a brilliant album. It's the debut album from Anthrax, picture disc, and it's got some of my favourite songs on by Anthrax. Now, this is hard to get out of here, and I'm going to touch the vinyl, which I don't like to do, as you know, but I have to get it out. You've got in here Death Rider, which is brilliant, Metal Thrashing Mad, Panic, which is my favourite song in here. Double bass drums in there are immense. And actually, there's one in here, I think it's called Howling Furies or something. It's very kind of like a rubbish metal song, but I just really like it. Get all the Anthrax info on there. On the back, and the singer on here is Neil Turbin, who was on this album for one album, and he was all right. He wasn't too bad. I do prefer Joey Belladonna. I think he was the best singer that I had. So yeah, this is great. Now, when you used to get these picture discs, I don't know about now, but when you used to get picture discs, they used to play. They didn't play very well. In fact, they sounded very muddy to me. I mean, they were all right, but they just were a little bit less on the quality for me. But with only having the one Anthrax album here, I know that my other Anthrax albums, as you'll know from that other video, they are kind of they are definitely in the pile of the waterlogged ones. That's Anthrax, Fistful of Metal. Next up is Bauhaus, 79 to 83. This is the compilation album. I don't have many compilation albums, if I'm honest. It's something I never really went in for, or best ofs. If I like an artist enough, I try to complete all their catalogue. Can you see what's going on there? So in here, this is really good actually. What you do is you get all of the it's like a pictorial, tells you all about the albums. Got that album CD, brilliant album. I would get the other albums. I think Bauhaus are a great band, and I've got quite a few things by them, but not too much. You can get some really collectible stuff by them. The other disc just looks like this, and it's actually one of those ones. It's a really good best of. Unfortunately, it doesn't have the studio version of Bela Lugosi's "Dead." Probably my favourite song by them, but it's got a live version on, which is pretty good. But I preferred the studio version. But you get practically everything that they've done, which is that's two music videos that they had out, VHS, and also you get a discography of the other bands who are in: Love and Rockets, Tones on Tails, David J's singles, Dallas Carr, David J with the Jazz Butcher, and the Sinister Ducks. Anyone remember them? That's good. And yeah, you get some brilliant songs on here. Bauhaus were and are kind of, because they still do things from time to time, a brilliant band. So standout tracks for me, and there is quite a few on here, is Dark Entries, Stigmata Martyr, Bela Lugosi's Dead, Telegram Sam, they do a great version of that. St. Vituous Dance, Spy in the Cab, Terror Couple, Kill Colonel, try and saying that after 20 pints. Kick in the Eye, In Fear of Fear, Ziggy Stardust, brilliant. The Sanity Assassin, that was a great song, that. And Third Uncle, really like that one. So yeah, a little bit of foxing on the back there, if you can see it, unfortunately. But you know, these things are from quite a while ago. Great cover that though. Very iconic, I find. Now this one is one of Deborah's one's vinyl, and I thought, wow, why would you have this? The theme tune, I would say the soundtrack to a movie, and the soundtrack is from the movie The Bitch. And I thought, what's all that about? But when I've looked through it, I thought, is any of these songs, well, these songs are probably featured in the album, but are they anything to do with the actual movie? I don't know. I've never seen it. Don't think I ever would. But after looking at this soundtrack here, I thought, there's some good songs on here. There's I Will Survive, amazing song that. You Make Me Feel Like Dancing, Giving Up, Giving In, Dinny by Blondie, Can You Feel the Force, The Lone Ranger by Quantum Jump. I'm not going to do the Ta Waka Jackie Jackie, that one, but it's so funny, that one. Cuba, Gibson Brothers, brilliant. Love of My Life, The Doolies. Does anyone remember them? So this is a good little album. If I'm honest, for if you want a sort of disco hit, it makes me actually want to say, I wonder what this movie's like. Is it anything that's on the label, Warwick label? So that's, oh my God, Deborah, what's going on there? Now, I don't know all that's about. I didn't do it, that's for sure. And to be honest, a vinyl, Deborah's vinyl, because she's got it quite a lot, and some of it's like survived the flood. But that one there, well, actually, speaking of scratches on records, wait till you see another one, which will be on a different video. That's all I'm going to say. You'll not believe it. I'll tell you the backstory about um, that scratched vinyl. It does involve, let's say, a falling out, shall we say. So this is also a gatefold record. You know? Yeah, not a bad little record. When I saw it, I thought, why? And then when I looked at it, I thought, not too bad. That's The Bitch after The Stud. Well, the Stud, the movie. Now, this one here was gifted to me by my good friend Susan. Now, Susan is the wife of this guy.
Where's me ladders?
So the album is Blondie, Parallel Lines. Now, Michael had been up in the loft and he said, oh, I've got this. Do you want it? And I think this is just after I told him about me going to see Blondie, or me wanting to go and see Blondie. And he said, do you want it? I said, yeah. I did used to have this. I had this on picture disc. I don't know what's happened to that one. I hope that's not in my. Now, this has been in Michael's loft for a long time. It hasn't been cleaned. I will be cleaning these albums when I go through them again, put some covers on them, maybe put the covers inside, which are plastic lined. I would imagine everybody back in the day had a copy of this vinyl in their collection. It crossed every genre. Like punks had it, just people who are interested in pop music. Everyone seemed to just get this album. I mean, obviously, you've got things like One Way or Another, Hanging on the Telephone. Picture this: Fade Away and Radiate, Pretty Baby, I Know But I Don't Know, 11:59, Will Anything Happen, Sunday Girl, Heart of Glass, brilliant. I'm Just Gonna Love You Too, and Just Go Away. So that's Blondie, Parallel Lines. Next up is Captain Sensible, Women and Captains First. Great album. That can see all these people like lookalikes. Now I got into Captain Sensible way before I got into the Damned. I thought the Damned were okay, but I really liked his stuff. I know he had Happy Talk out, which is on this album, but I preferred his stuff that was like a sort of more or less deep cuts. I think he's a great musician. Seen the Damned live, such a good guitarist. And a lot of people don't realize that. They don't just think, oh, he just sings daft songs. You go, no, he's much more than that. I think he doesn't get taken seriously enough as to be one of the best guitarists in the punk. Well, probably right there, top three best punk guitarists ever. I like the way he uses like the drum machines. He's got some great sort of drum beats on there. I was really like taken with drum beats at the time. Like this was the first time you were starting to hear in the early 80s drum machines, which I used to love. There's a lot of my records that I have. If they had a good drum beat on with a drum machine, I was well into that. Hello, you've got What? Now the 12-inch version of What? If you turn it right up at the very end and play it right at the very end, you hear him swearing on it. It's dead funny. Nobody's Sweetheart, which is kind of like a ragtime thing. It's just so good. I play it all the time. Actually, I've got it on the car at the minute. And who is Melody Lee Sid, which is brilliant, that one. Croydon, I like that one. Martha the Mouth, that's one of my favourites on here. Great album. And to follow on from that, I've got Captain Sensible's second album, The Power of Love. Now, here, when you watch it, you see, when you get it, you think, what? And then you go, oh, yes. Now, if you look there, this is a promo. I didn't realize this until I was putting in alphabetical order. It's got some great songs on here as well. Glad It's All Over, brilliant. Secrets, I think that's absolutely brilliant. You've also got I'm a Spider, which has got a good drum beat on there. And It's Hard to Believe I'm Not. That song there is my favourite Captain Sensible song. It's such a good song, really is. He's really talented, and also he's got "Thanks for the Night," which was also a Damned song, but that's his version of it. I think that was one of the last Damned songs that he played on before he left to do all this stuff, and then he come back to the Damned. So it's got. I love it when you get inner bags. With some way you used to get the vinyl and used to be treated to getting an inner bag, and it's like, oh, brilliant, got one of them in. Sometimes when you found out there was an inner bag available and you didn't get it, or an insert and you didn't get it, or a post and you didn't get it, you kind of felt a bit duped, a bit like slipcovers. You think, hang on, it's not complete, and I wanted the complete one. And I think a lot of vinyl collectors, they love stuff like this. They want it like it was. They wouldn't be prepared to pay anything for it if it didn't have these things in it, a bit like the slipcovers. Everything goes around. When you used to get these promo things, you think, are they really that? Is that a thing? Or is it just stuck on there? I just don't know. And it wasn't expensive. This was second hand. It was $3.99. So it's not as if maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. I don't know. So that's Captain Sensible, The Power of Love. Good second album actually. And this is a best of Sensible singles. You get, I don't know why I got it actually. Probably there's a few songs on here which I haven't gotten. I decided to get it. Probably it was cheap, I would imagine. It was a second hand. It probably was, but it's got no price in here. Actually, some of these, I would like to tell you exactly how much I paid from, where I got them from. But most of these, it's like lost in the mist of time. But this is a good album. It's got it's got all the songs. Actually, it's got Relax on there, which I don't think that's on anything else. So probably a B side, and one Christmas catalog, which I think was another single, which I haven't got. I don't know if he ever had a third album. I'm not so sure. There's his backing band, the Dolly Mixtures. That's great. I think his wife was in there. And yep, not a bad album. It's not much to see in there. It's a kind of A&M vinyl there. But these did get played quite a lot. I've got to say, me Captain Sensible stuff. I've got quite a lot of singles of his. I think I've got some 12 inches as well, which I think some of them are waterlogged. Again, it's nice to have a big Captain Sensible collection. You don't hear many people say that one, do you? So that's Sensible singles. Next up, last two here this is a great band coming up, got a great name. This is the first album of theirs. It's by the Crumbsuckers. It's called Life of Dreams. Now, I've got the second album before I got this one. And the second album is really good. It's like a sort of really like a heavy metal crossover. And the actual musicianship on that album is just second to none. It's fantastic. Now, this one is more like a hardcore punk album. It's not bad. The singer's not the best of singers, but a great album cover there. I wouldn't say there's stuff on here which I'm looking to think Face of Death. I'm I'm thinking what one's Life of Dreams I think was all right. Brainwashed. Mr. Hyde was okay. I can't really remember much of this stuff because when I got it, I was kind of. It was a bit like one of those ones where I thought, hang on, it's not as good as the album I had. I was hoping it's going to be more of the same, but it is what it is. Sometimes you would do that. You would like a band, so you think I'll have to check out more stuff by them, and then when you get it, you think, no, it's not what I was thinking it was going to be. But it's all right if you like hardcore punk. Actually, one of those ones where if I go back to it today, I might think more of it because sometimes I was a bit judgmental when I was a kid, especially with vinyl. I think we can be judgmental. You can say, I want to be impressed by such and such, and it's not there. So you think, right. But it's one that I would have to take another listen to get a full appreciation of it. But I do like the cover. I think it's great. And the last one in here was the album I'm talking about, and this has got a terrible album cover, as this one is brilliant. This one here isn't. It's a second album, Beast on My Back. Now, what happened was, and I'm sure the singer, sorry, the drummer, and the two guitarists there, I think they went into a different band, which I can't remember what they were called. They were brilliant, actually. I haven't got anything by them, unfortunately. The singer there, he's not the best of singers. He's more like a hardcore singer. He's not in any metal sort of singing, and I don't think he kind of worked for this album, uh, singing wise. But the musicianship on here is second to none. There's a song here called Initial Shock, which I'll put on a link down below, a music video of it. And honestly, you wouldn't believe how good that music is coming from this. But I didn't hear this one first. I put this on and I thought, I don't know why I got this one. Anyway, probably read in Metal Hammer that it was a good album. And I went and got it and I thought, wow, it's absolutely brilliant. Yeah, I gotta say that the band photos for these ones weren't the best. This is on the same album label as the other one, Rough Justice. I say these albums haven't been played for years, but this is a brilliant album. If you ever see it, I don't think I've ever seen it on CD, but if you do see it on the CD and you're into this type of thing, if you like that initial shock that I put down below, do check it out. You might actually like the full album online. Actually, you can listen to it online. So yeah, so that's kind of the first part. It's half an hour on here, but I might cut it down. I might be able to get it cut down to a bit trimmer. Because I don't want to go I don't want to go over half an hour at all. He says waffling. So yeah, so really happy to see when I'm pulling these out and think, oh, I'm so glad I've got these and they're not wrecked. Now, if you remember my wrecked videos, like I say, I'll leave a link to that one down below. You know, take a look at it. You'll not see anything like this. Well, you will, but it'll be all wrecked. I'll probably put a few more of these on. I'll definitely do some with the CD, the vinyl, which I'll be putting them all in alphabetical order so I can go through them. And I'll do a couple more videos of them because I really love showing the vinyl off. It's just a shame it's not all minty fresh like it used to be, but it is what it is, I suppose. So, thanks for watching. You take care, and I will see you on the next video. Cheers.